Hey guys, it is PokeMultiverse, and unfortunately I'm coming off of a sickness, so my nose is still a little bit stuffy, just barely, and I do kind of have a cough, so bear with me. Since Pokebank has been delayed, I'm not gonna bitch about it, I'm just saying, all I have is a Showdown battle of the new OU. Technically there is no Pokebank OU anymore, so it's an OU battle, which is all you're gonna see for a while until we have more tiers coming out and I can start doing UU and whatnot. I'm looking forward to UU. I love UU. Anyway, so my team is filled with pretty common Pokemon, and I'm up against testing guess, and I guess you could say I tested this guess patience. I'm stupid, I know. But I used whatever. I'll just let you watch the match. It's fairly short, but we'll just get into it. I'm gonna lead off with Genesect, as people typically do, and he's got the Rotom Wash. I'm gonna go for the U-turn. I know there's Will-O-Wisp, but sending in Heatran on a Rotom Wash on the very first turn is just not something you want to do, so I think Gastrodon will suffer the least from it. I'm just going to go for the Hidden Power Grass in case he stays in, because I know Scald won't be able to do too much to the Rotom, as he brings in Clefable, which I'm assuming is either specially defensive, or he brought it in because I can't Toxic it, and I guess Gastrodon could carry Toxic, possibly. So he's going to bring in Terrakion as I go for the Recover, and I do not want to take a close combat. So I'm going to switch into Gliscor, because Gliscor can take whatever hit Terrakion wants to do. Like, unless it has, like, Ice something, I think it's like Ice Punch or Ice Fang, I don't know. So I'm going to set up a sub, and then I don't know what he did with that Rotom. Either way, I'm going to set up a sub. Clefable won't be able to get Toxic, so I'm just going to switch into Heatran and set up my Rocks as his Clefable can't touch me. And he's going to double switch into Scarm, knowing that I'm going to switch out because I don't want to take a Hydro Pump, which is good on him. He's going to go for the Defog, and I knew Scarm probably had Defog, considering he has a Mega Pinsir. But I figured if I can get it up anyway, that'd be nice, but he played around me getting it up well enough that his team took almost no damage whatsoever. I didn't want to sack Gastrodon for a Scarm, so I went into Gyarados hoping he would Brave Bird, but he does in fact go for the Roost, and so I'm just going to go for the Dragon Dance at this point, as he goes for another Roost. So I wasn't playing very well against this Skarmory, and I don't want to go Mega because he does have that Terrakion, which kind of scares me, so if I can avoid it, I want to, and he just Whirlwinds me out as I get brought into Heatran, so I'm able to get my Rocks up again as he switches into Clefable and just goes for the Aromatherapy. Lava Plume isn't doing too much. I don't want him to bring in his own Heatran now, not only getting the Flash Fire, but whatever. So I do go for the Earth Power to try and see if I can catch him, because I wasn't really thinking, but yeah, that Heatran is a huge issue. So this Lava Plume does a good chunk to the Rotom Wash, and he's gonna predict the Gastrodon again, go into Scarm, and I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna stay in and go for the Scald this time. But he Brave Birds, that's fine by me. I'm gonna go into Genesect, clearly scare him out, but T-Bolt just does nothing to Clefable. So it's definitely his specially defensive poke. I'm gonna try and set up on the Clefable and get up a DD, and I do decide to Mega at that point and go for the EQ because I have Mold Breaker, but he switches out into Scarm, which is fine by me, but it means I'll just be able to Waterfall it anyway. Something was dying on his team. I don't want to be outsped by Terrakion and killed with a close combat, so I just kind of fodder off my Malamar as he double combats and go into Genesect knowing I'm going to be outspeed, and I go for the U-turn knowing he's going to know I'm I'm Scarfed, so I expected to be able to outspeed. So, Gyarados, Clefable, Moonblast, etc., Waterfall, Death. Yeah, that's how great narrators go. And at this point, I don't want to be afraid of the Terrakion if he's just bluffing the Scarf, so I'm going to stay in, and it does turn out that he is Scarfed, and here we are going to wreck shit with this gliscor. I switched stuff because he starts saying stuff. So I know he's locked into close combat and can't touch gliscor, so I'm able to get up a sub on the Rotom Wash, and he does miss the Hydro Pump, so that's kind of disappointing on his part, but the result would have ended the same. I know how to play my gliscors, but I'm faster, so I'm just going to go for the Protect until it fails and he breaks my sub, and I actually get a 3-turn Protect, and I included the chat because I love how angry he gets. He's just like, what an asshole, you stupid fucking hacks, you prick, and I'm just like, I am so sorry. I was like, am I gonna get the 4th turn? I don't, and he misses the Hydro Pump, and I felt actually kind of bad. He goes, wow. He's just wow, I'm just wow, everyone is wow, because Toxic Stall Gliscor is a piece of crap, and he's like, you stupid fucking piece of shit, as I Toxic his Pinsir, and he Swords Dance, probably expecting me to Protect, but that was bad on his part, because I just go for the sub, and just Toxic Stall his Pinsir. I'm not sure if he actually says anything else. I just kept the chat in until I was forced to switch out, which is after, it's after I kill the Heatran. Because he brings in the Heatran, and I'm just like, yo, okay, I'm behind a sub, I can just go for the EQ and easily OHKO this Tran, and that's exactly what I do. So the camera is gonna, like, change back, because he brings in Rotom Wash, so I'm gonna go into Genesect as essentially fodder. He gets off 50%, and since I am Scarfed, I can outspeed, so I'm just gonna T-Bolt it and take the Rotom Wash out. He's gonna Revenge with his Terrakion, which is locked into Stone Edge, and at this point, he misses the Stone Edge as I get off a Toxic, and he just forfeits. I understand the principle of him missing Stone Edge, but he was probably just done with the hacks, but at the same time, it didn't matter. After the match, I calced it. I don't like calcing during matches, but afterwards, I did check just to make sure, and his Stone Edge only does, like, 37% at best to my Gliscor, so I could take his hits all day, and just easily Toxic Stall the rest of his team. But I understand its principle. He missed, and so he quit, because Toxic Stall Gliscor is a piece of shit. But I don't know. You guys may think it was maybe rude of me to, like, include the chat and everything, but I don't know. I found it amusing. I'm not saying anything bad about the guy. I found it funny. I don't think I've ever been angry at a player for using a Pokemon. Like, I've never been like, oh god, I hate you so much, but I've definitely never been Pokemon. I'm like, god, why does this thing exist? It is the bane of everyone's existence. But I don't know, there are ways to work around Gliscor. It's just, it didn't seem like he really had a very reliable one. So, that's whatever. Also, another side note. Instead of Toxic on the Terrakion, I could have just EQ'd, and that would have killed it from where it's at. But the problem with Toxic Stall Gliscor is I use the Toxic Stall so much that I don't really have a good reference on how much damage my EQ does to Pokemon, and I don't know if I failed to mention it just now. My short-term memory sucks, but I don't like doing calculations during a match. I believe it takes away from the experience if you calc everything, all your moves, before you do them. So I didn't know if the EQ would actually do all that much, and while I knew the Stone Edge wasn't going to do anything, I was just playing it safe. You can never be too safe, especially when Terrakion could just completely kill your Heatran if he could handle the Gliscor. So, I don't know. That's just that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, like, and I will see you guys later.